Cam, I think that the texts are going too fast. I can't keep up. And it's too hard to text this bit, but it's just an amusing bit on the side. But why are right-wingers called right-wingers and left-wingers called left-wingers? As far as I know, in the French Revolution, the revolutionaries were, doing what these protesters are doing, but being successful. And they were going to march on, I think it was the Tuileries Palace, where Louis and had been. But anyway, they were all marching down there and all that sort of stuff. We're going to form a new government or something like that. And, it's just a regular sort of big room they were all going to meet in. And I think, there was still some gendarmes, police, whatever, and they blocked them, and they were all, we're going in there and all that sort of stuff, and they were blocked. I mean, we're going to have to go somewhere else. Where are we going to go? And someone said there's an equestrian centre down the road. Hang on, I better put my arm down. There's an equestrian centre down the road. And they say, well, let's all go down there, you know what I mean? But still, this whole left-right thing didn't exist yet, Anyway, so they're all marching down there. But these revolutionaries, the thing about revolutionaries is they're often divided amongst themselves, So, all right, so, the Bourbon kings and all that, so they're still the enemy and all that sort of stuff, But the revolutionaries, they tend to have factions too. So they were all marching down the street, and there was two factions there. They weren't left and right, Some of them were what we would call more conservative, and some were more rabble-rousing, bloody progressives or whatever. Anyway, of course, as they were marching down the street, all the ones who were mates with each other, the factions, they kind of sort of gathered together, and they're all marching kind of together, and the other faction was marching together. They were all one mob, they're all marching down, but they kind of split into two camps, and they got to the equestrian centre. We're going to go and have a big meeting, the revolution, and all that sort of stuff. And the first bloke who went into the equestrian centre, now the equestrian centre was, the way the French are with their equestrian, they had 2 rows of stands, and the horses used to go into the middle, and the judging used to happen, So the first bloke went in, and he went and sat up on the right-hand side, he could have gone on the left-hand side, but he went, I'm going to fucking sit somewhere. And he went up there. And, of course, he was the kind of, big bossy type guy. And the other guy, I'm going to go and sit with him because he's my mate, And they went up there too. And then the first kind of guy from the other camp came in and said, I'm not going to sit with him, I hate him, I'm going to go and sit on the other side, bastard, So he went up there, and all his mates started going up there, and just organically, all the kind of, one mob went up on the right-hand side of the equestrian centre, and the other mob kind of went up on the left-hand side of the centre, and they're all down there, we're all one great big revolutionary mob, and one of the camps found themselves staring at the other camp. It was a total coincidence. Now, what happened was, when they all finished having their big hoo-ha talk and all that sort of stuff, one mob had ended up on the right-hand side of the equestrian centre, and the other mob had ended up on the left-hand side of the equestrian centre. And then, they all left afterwards. They had their big meetings. They still weren't talking left-right. But as they all started chatting down in the coffee shops of Paris and all that sort of stuff, which side of the equestrian centre were you on? I was on the left-hand side. Hey, those bastards on the right-hand side. Oh, yeah, those bastards, Oh, I hate those righties. And that's where it started, as far as I know, And everyone's on the right-hand side. And the coffee shops were saying, were you on the right or the left? Oh, we were on the right-hand side with you, mate. Oh, yeah. Hey, one of those guys on the left, bloody lefties. I think that's where it started.